Jai Hind everyone, I am LCPL Shomi Purakaistha. Now we are going to present a slideshow on unrecognized heroes of Indian freedom struggle prepared by Cadet Sanjana Sinha, voiceover by Cadet L. Mema Sinha, followed by Cadet Mirza Noor, and finally by me.
Get known by the great contribution, while some names stay in the dark but has contributed as much as those popular names. Throughout this PowerPoint presentation, we are going to highlight some unsung warriors who selflessly laid their life for the country so that we can have a fearless life, a carefree life where we don't have to suffer at merciless hand of ruthless enemy. Our struggle for independence was a long cruising battle that had started way back in 1757 with the patriotic goal of Purna Swaraj. And to accomplish the same, there were not only the freedom fighter who we know, but also the heroes who fought as much as but didn't fall in the limit line. Koiran, popularly known as Veer Tikendji, was one of the unforgettable national figures of Manipur. He held a unique position in the Indian freedom struggle. A prince turned nationalist born on Saturday, 29 December 1856. Since childhood, he was a lover of freedom. Being a member of royal family, Tikendajit was familiar with the English, which enabled him to know about their attitude and innermost feeling towards the nation. Tikendrajit got an idea as to their intentions and he tactfully made efforts to defeat Manipur's sovereignty. He knew very well that British was eagerly awaiting an opportunity to transform Manipur into a British colony. He and other like-minded Prince Angonsan, Chilimgamba and other revolted against monarch on 22nd September 1891. This event is known as Palace Revolt in the history of Manipur. In the evening of March 24, 1891, the British troops attacked the palace compound, particularly Tikendajit's residence, killing many innocents including women and children who were watching a cultural program, Ras Leela. Queen Victoria made effort to save Tikendajit but failed. Despite her wish and strong protest of the people, he and Thangal General was hanged in an open place before the general public on August 30, 1891. And since from that date, the state of Manipur celebrates this day, August 30, as a patriotic day to remember his role in the freedom struggle. In short, he was a crusader who resisted the expansion of colonialism. He fearlessly fought against the colonialists. For his patriotism, Dickensian is immortal. He has been called the Lion of Manipur. Even the government of British India has linked him to a French tiger.
Now speaking of Miss Kanaklata Barua, like any other normal Assamese girl, she was also one. But what makes her extraordinary is the fact that her spirit of national freedom. Born to Krishnakanta Barua and Koreshwari Barua on 22nd December 1924 at Barangabari, village of Gopur subdivision, Sonitpur district, Kanaklata was the youngest freedom fighter of Assam. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's Quit India movement, she wanted to join the Azad Hind Fauj. However, she was not allowed to join, and later on, she joined the Mrityu Bahini, a death suicide squad. She was only 18 years old when she joined the Mrityu Bahini. Later on, after the martyr of Kushal Kanwar, the revolutionary camp of Gopur subdivision of undivided Darang district decided to unfurl the national flag at the police. Kanaklata, with the national flag in her hand, led the procession with the members of Mrityu Bahini. They were warned by the police not to proceed further or face grave consequences. Undeterred by the warning, the procession continued along with Kanaklata holding the national flag. But later on, the Britishers and the police started firing at them. As a leader, Kanaklata was shot and dead, and she was holding the flag, making sure that the flag does not fall on the ground till another person named Mukunda Kakoti took it from her and hold it high. This is the small story of Miss Kanaklata Barua.
Ullashka Datta was born in present-day Bangladesh in a Badya family. After passing entrance exam in 1903, he took admission in Presidency College, Kolkata. However, he was rusticated from the college for hitting a British professor who made some derogatory comment about a certain section of Indians. He became expert in bomb making. Khudiram Bose used a bomb manufactured by Ullashkar. In the famous Alipore bomb case, Ulashkar was arrested on 2nd May 1908 and he was sentenced to death by hanging in 1909. Later, on an appeal, the verdict was reduced to transportation for life and he was deported to the cellular jail in Andaman. He was subjected to brutal torture in cellular jail and is said to have lost his mental balance. He was set free in 1920 and he returned to Kolkata after a lonely life of 10 years. After returning to Kolkata, he remarried his childhood friend Leela, who was the daughter of Bipin Chandra Pal, and at that time she was a physically challenged widow woman. Considering the time that he lived in, remarrying a widow was a big deal. It showed his remarkable mental strength and, most importantly, his true love towards her. He spent his later life in Kachar district of Assam, and we lost this hero on 17th May 1965. Bhageswari Fukanani was a simple housewife whose love for her country earned her the title of the 60-year-old martyr. Now let us learn how she earned this title. The Behrampur office of the Indian National Congress had been seized by the British authorities. In September 1942, the revolutionaries took back control of the office and decided to celebrate their feat with a feast. Bhageswari Fukanani, along with Ratanmala, led the mob. They held the Indian national flag in their hand as they marched forward. As soon as they confronted Captain Finnish, he snatched the flag from their hand and threw it on the ground. Furious by the disrespect to the national flag, Fukanani snatched the flag from his hand and hit his head with the pole of the flag. Enraged by her actions, Captain Finnish pulled out his revolver and fired at Bhageswari, who fell down on the ground. She succumbed to her injuries and died on September 20, 1942. Our last unrecognized hero in this presentation is Kuhal Kuar, a descendant of the royal family of Sutia Kingdom. He was another brave freedom fighter from Assam, and he happened to be the only martyr in India who was hanged during the last phase of the Quit India movement. While still at school, he was inspired by Gandhiji's call for non-cooperation movement and took an active part in it. On 10th October 1942, hidden in thick fog of early morning, some people removed few sleepers of the railway line near Horupathar in Golaghat district. A military train passing by derailed, and many British and American soldiers lost their lives. Accusing Kuhal Kuar as the chief conspirator of the train sabotage, the British police arrested him, even though he was innocent. He was brought from Golaghat and was lodged in the Jorhat jail on 5th November 1942. In the court of C.M. Humphrey, Kuhal Kaur was declared guilty, though there was not a single proof against him. Kuhal was sentenced to death by hanging. He spent his remaining days in the death row cell of Jorhat jail in prayers and reading the Gita. As we are nearing the end of our presentation, I would like to mention one often overlooked aspect, that is, the role of women in mass character of the movement and their contribution to the freedom struggle. Little is known or acknowledged of the self-sacrifice that women made in their own ways by innovating strategies, be it harboring revolutionaries who were on the run or providing shelter and food to satyagrahis, and even at times by playing the role of spies and passing valuable information. These women didn't get any recognition for what they did, and what motivated them was not even the desire for recognition, but a sense of love and obligation for their motherland which they wanted to set free. A lot of such women were caught and sentenced to harsh punishments, while many even didn't hesitate to end their lives on the spot. To them, we certainly owe our free country, and they do deserve our deepest sense of gratitude and respect for their sacrifice, as much as Gandhiji or Subhash Chandra Bose do, as it is for these selfless miniature acts of ordinary people that our leaders were able to vouch for our freedom.